Right, hello and welcome. Today we are going over the Aston Martin DB11 from 2016 to see how good this Gran is in Gran Turismo 7. So, with this being said, the Aston Martin DB11, you can pick this vehicle up from Brand Central for 238,000 credits, which isn't too bad because what you get for that money is a newly developed 5.2 liter V12 twin turbocharged engine capable of doing 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3.9 seconds with a top speed of 200.1 miles per hour. They really just had to get it just over that 200 mile per hour mark. So this car produces a total of 599 brake horsepower bone stock, has a weight of 1770 kgs, which frankly isn't too bad. With it being front engine rear wheel drive, we should see this vehicle actually be able to give us some slides. So once we actually get behind the wheel of the Aston Martin DB11, well, then we begin to realize that this is actually something special. Now when it comes to straight line speed, at the end of the straightaway of Kyoto Driving Park, you're going to be doing around 240 kilometers per hour bone stock. Now we need to keep in mind, this is a Gran Tourer. This isn't a full-fledged sports car. This is supposed to be taking you on journeys, just being a smooth driving experience. And you can really feel that when you're going through corners. The suspension isn't very that tough. It isn't like a hard setup where if you hit a curb or clipping points, then the whole car is just rocking and it's stiff, and it doesn't like that. The suspension is a lot softer in nature. As you can see, you can go over curbs and just the vehicle will actually be a bit bouncy. Now this has to do with, as I said, it's a Gran Tourer. It's supposed to be smooth, soft, relaxed. So when you're really pushing it to its limits, well, you really see that the Aston Martin is just a fun vehicle. Now, as I said, with exiting corners and you're putting your foot flat to the ground, well, you're gonna notice that rear end wanting to step out. Yes, don't think, oh no, it's not a sports car. This vehicle, with it having just under 600 horsepower, will light up the rear wheels with absolute ease. Now when it comes to setting lap times, well, you're going to be setting lap times around the 1 minute 50 second mark. And when I tell you this vehicle is very consistent, I was setting majority of my laps exactly around the 1 minute 50 second mark, except for one where I was able to squeeze out a 1 minute 49. But it's a very easy vehicle to drive. There's not much to really think of. It's just simply jump in, take it around corners and enjoy your time. Because one thing, the Aston Martin DB11 will leave you with a smile on your face by the time you're done driving it. So the Aston Martin DB11, for being under 300,000 credits, it isn't too bad. It's not too shabby. However, I would be expecting a lot more. Now if you are looking for a lot more, well, then you can head on over to a tuning shop. You are going to be able to actually start applying a lot of parts to this vehicle, including a high RPM turbocharger. And because of that, you will notice that the power figures will now be at 961 brake horsepower and the vehicle will only weigh 1221 kgs. Now if this vehicle had stage 5 weight reduction, we could have seen it be well under 1000 kgs or just around that mark. Sadly, however, it doesn't. But even with it being at 1200 kgs, the vehicle is still relatively light, and with it packing such a strong punch, it should make for an interesting experience once we head out back onto circuit. But before we do that, we need to upgrade the looks and make it match the new performance of the Aston Martin. So if we head on over to GT Auto, then we see that we have two options for the front splitter, with Type A in my opinion being a bit too aggressive. We have one option for the side skirts and we have one option for the rear wing, and that is a custom rear wing. So those are your options when it comes to customization for the Aston Martin DB11. Now when it comes to liveries, well, you have a wide variety and honestly some really good liveries. And if that isn't your cup of tea, by all means, as I said, go in, create your own thing and just enjoy the absolute stunning styling of the Aston Martin DB11. Now this vehicle was actually the replacement of the Aston Martin DB9. Now that was a fantastic Aston Martin, and I would actually love to see that vehicle make a return, but that's another story for another wishlist video. Now when it comes to just the overall performance of the Aston Martin DB11, with it being fully upgraded, this vehicle is an absolute beast. It honestly just turned over a new leaf because this car is so rapid. Now don't get me wrong, with the vehicle being standard, the car's acceleration, it was good. The top speed was okay, nothing really amazing or groundbreaking. But now with the vehicle being fully upgraded, we see that coming into the first corner around KL driving park, we are traveling at over 300 kilometers per hour before we need to slam on the brakes. And when I tell you, it's such a fun vehicle. The rear end steps out just enough to make it a proper driving experience. You are gonna be really excited, and you aren't gonna be, how do I say, having a moment where you get bored in the Aston Martin DB11. If you really push it as hard as possible, you are gonna feel a completely different type of vehicle. The vehicle is so much fun, it's so energetic, and it's just so responsive. The minute you get on the power, it's there. The minute you slam on the brakes, you are slowing down. When it comes to just overall performance, you are having an absolute blast. Now with the vehicle being on racing soft tires, max downforce, I do wish we were able to add a bit more downforce to the front, but other than that, we see that the vehicle's performance points comes around 792.93 performance points, so just under the 800 performance points mark. However, don't get too excited now and want to take it and start doing some money grinding, because that is the catch. With this Aston Martin having a big old V12 engine, it is an absolute fuel eater. It consumes so much fuel so quickly that I didn't really feel that, you know what, this is a good vehicle and I'll recommend it to you for doing some money grinding. That is not the case. However, if you are looking for a vehicle that will actually give some of the fastest hypercars in the game a run for its money, I mean, I took the Aston Martin DB11 around the hypercar parade on the hardest difficulty, and the DB11 was keeping up with some of the best hypercars and supercars in the game. So don't look down upon the Aston Martin DB11, and if you haven't tried it out, honestly, I recommend you do. And with the vehicle now being fully upgraded, we see it saying lap times around a 1 minute 33 second mark, 1 minute 32 second marks in fact, and that is just insanely fast. For a Gran Tourer, this is running with some of the best sports cars in the game. So do not sleep on the Aston Martin DB11. It has everything you need in a sports car, and it is just so much fun. It's such a fun vehicle, and in my opinion, I haven't really seen that many people use it in online situations. So Aston Martin DB11, is it a hidden gem? Have you tried it out? If you have, let me know in the comment section. And with all this being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you guys in the next Gran Turismo 7 video. Peace.